Good morning, Colorado. I'm Katie.mild with Coldwell Banker Residential in Boulder. And today I want to talk about a big change that happened in our country this week. So, this past week, Congress passed a tax reform bill overhaul that is unlike anything that our country has seen in over 30 years. This is a very big deal. It affects pretty much every American on some level. And everybody has a lot of questions of how this is going to affect their particular tax situation going forward. So today I'm quickly going to cover 4 areas that pertain very specifically to home ownership and real estate. Now, full disclosure, I am not a CPA. I am not a licensed tax professional. So I encourage you to seek out that person or those people who work with you on your taxes and talk through your specific situation and how these will affect you. So now that my disclosure is out of the way, let's cover a couple of items. So I'm going to start with the bad news and then work my way up. First one, moving expenses. No longer deductible, no longer covered, except for members of the military. So this is a big deal. What this means is for things like if you are moving across the country, let's say for a job transfer or a personal change, if some of your relocation expenses were not, for example, covered by that company, in years past, you could lessen the blow with being able to itemize and deduct some of those expenses. Things like packing materials or the U-Haul to move your things, sometimes even mileage. Those items no longer deductible except if you are a member of the armed forces. So this could affect your situation going forward. So again, if you're thinking about moving, start to think about those expenses now and how starting next year you will no longer be able to write those off. The next thing that we'll cover, property tax deduction. So previously, property taxes and state and local income taxes were deductible if you were itemizing. Now, individuals can only deduct up to $10,000 combined of property taxes and state and local income taxes. Now, for many of us, this may not make a difference depending on where you live, but if you live in a state where you have the doozy of high property taxes and high income taxes, this one could really hurt because what it's effectively doing is limiting what you can write off. You can quickly blow through your $10,000 allotment and then still feel the pain of having to pay on those additional ones. So again, depending on where you live, this one could hurt. Moving on, the mortgage interest deduction. Now this has been lowered. So new homeowners going forward will only be able to deduct interest on the first $750,000 of mortgage debt. This is down from what was previously a $1 million limit. Now again, for many of us, this won't make much of a difference. You may be thinking $750,000 to $1 million, I'm nowhere near that. However, there are certain parts of the country, markets like New York City and San Francisco, where the average cost of a home is hundreds of thousands of dollars above the national average. For these folks, this could make a big difference, and for wannabe homeowners, this could cause them to delay purchasing because of this. Again, this is very location dependent. Talk with your tax professional, but this could hurt you depending on where you're living. Now that I've gone through some of those not so fun ones, here's a bit of good news. So the exclusion of sale on a primary residence. Now currently, a homeowner can sell his or her home and they can exclude up to $250,000 of the gain on the sale of that home. And it's actually $500,000, a whopping $500,000 if you're married. If the taxpayer has owned the home as a primary residence and has lived in that home as a primary residence for 2 of the last 5 calendar years. So this is a big deal. Now, under the new tax bill overhaul, this one is no change. It's good news. It has stayed the same. So this amazing benefit is still in play. This is a big victory for the middle class. This is a big victory for homeowners everywhere because this is the type of incentive that homeowners who are wanting their little slice of the American dream, this is the type of incentive that gets them there and keeps them in home ownership. And this one is not going anywhere. So wanted to end this video on a bit of good news. Again, not a licensed CPA or tax professional, so talk to yours, talk to them about your specific situation and how these rules will affect you. If you have any questions about buying or selling a home in the Denver or Boulder communities, all of my information is below. I also used a really good Forbes article to help me summarize and understand some of these new changes when I was making this video. I've included a link to that, to the full article below. So if you want some light reading on some of the other tax changes, please click on the link below. Thank you so much, Colorado. Have a wonderful day.